No, 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 it's not correct. Even if there are lawyers, it doesn't matter. It is the judge that will not say, I remember last time when I wanted to make more than five. He said no. That's what I'm saying. Even if we have to go to him, why you not for the judge to say you can announce it? It's my prerogative as the lead counsel to announce my thing. Nobody can take that from me. So that nobody shall do anything. Exactly. Nobody.
So, why can't I want him to come in?
No, take this easy. Nobody is stopping anybody. Even me, you have been stopping me and for more than 5 minutes. It's not. This lawyer was brought to the bar together with me on the same day. It's not the journal they have DD. We have to complain about what you are doing. Somebody wants to have it. I refuse to call it. He called me. I said, no, me. I will point it out to the court. Point it out to the court. Oh, my brother, let the judge know.
All right, they have brought our leader to court. Our leader have arrived court, so stay tuned for updates. We all should understand something. I want to say something to Biafrans who might be hoping or expecting our leader to be released today. We know that is possible, and at the same time, we must not have to exaggerate. This is also very important that we must have to know too. So hold on as we continue to bring to you, because they have, like I say, they have no case against our leader. So We must have to understand this. Today, our leader will be brought to court for the reason that I want to explain certain things to us. Our leader will be brought to court because there is a charge.
Ọ dị mma dịka ị na-ahụ ihe abụọ ọtụtụ ụmụ nwaanyị ndị Igbo n'anya ka ịhụ na ha yicha akwa ha pụta, ha si na ha bụ otu jikọrọ ụmụ nwaanyị ndị Igbo. Ha dara n'ala ebe a na-ebe akwa alakọrịta. Ihe a bụ alakọrịta na anwụ na-acha na Abuja. Ọ bụrụ na iji ihe eji elele etu eluigwe si echi ichi maọbụ si ajụ oyi maọbụ ahụ ọkụ, ya bụ temprechọ, ị ga-ama na Abuja dị ọkụ. Ala a ebe ụmụ nwaanyị dara na-ahụ ezigbo ọkụ, mana ha dara na-ebe akwa na-asị isi hapụrụ ha Nnamdi Kanu bụ nwa ha, na enweghị ihe o mere. Mmadụ ikwu ka nwere onwe ya abụghị ihe ọjọọ. Ka m gatụkwa obere maka na ọtụtụ n'ime ha chọrọ ka m gwa ha ajụjụ ọnụ bụ eziokwu, mana akwa emetụkwa agbakwa maka na ajụjụla m ụfọdụ n'ime ha ajụjụ. Ya bụ nnọtụ mbịakwa ile anya gị hụ ha ka m ebe a ugbu a na-ebe akwa na-atọrịkọ onwe ha n'ala na-asị si hapụrụ ha nwa ha nwoke ka ọ lawa. Ịhapụ nwa nwoke a ka ọ laba ugbu a bụ ihe a nọ n'ime ụlọikpe ukwu dị n'Abuja ugbu a wee na-ekpe, ịma ka ọkaikpe Dinta Nyako ọ ga-ekwe n'eziokwu si hapụ onye a ka ọ laba maka na o nweghị ihe o mere. Ndị ekwuola nke ha, ọ dị n'aka ọkaikpe Dinta Nyako ikwu ma ọ ga-ala ma ọ bụ ọ gaghị ala. Ya bụ otu a ka ọ kasị gbatakwuru ugbu a ebe anyị ka na ugbu a. Ọkwa anọtụkwa anyị apụta tupu iro. Ka ọ dị ugbu otu onye nta akụkọ esonye ekwerela m ugbu a. Ya adịla ndị nta akụkọ abụọ bụ ndị nwere ikike ikwu n'iro ebe a. Ndị niile anyị na-ahụ ebe enyi bụ ndị ọ bụrụ bekee akpọ ha citizen journalist, ya bụ ndị nta akụkọ nke onwe, maka na onye ọbụla nwere ekwentị nwere ike ịbụ onye nta akụkọ. Ihe ọbụla isetere ozugbo ibido ịgbasa ozi, otu teknụzụ si mee ya. Mana abịa na ndị nta akụkọ e nyere ikike ịnọ ebe a ha ebughị ibu. Ụfọdụ bụ ndị e nyere ikike ka ha nọrọ n'ime ole ma ole ga-agụta mkpụrụ mmadụ ole ma ole bụ ndị e nyere ikike ka ha nọrọ n'ime na-eweta otu ihe si aga n'ime. BBC Igbo so n'otu ndị ahụ. Onye nke m nọ n'ime ugbu a na-eweta ya bụ otu o si aga, mana m onwe m ọrụ nke m bụ ịnọ n'iro ebe a na-ewetara gị ka ya bụ ihe si aga. Ya bụ ọ bụrụ na ị chọzie ịma akụkọ a na uju otu o si aga kpọmkwem, ịmarala na ebe ị ga-aga bụ na bbcigbo.com. Iwere ekwentị gị ugbu a gị gaa na Google gị pịa bbcigbo.com. Ka ya bụ ikpe si malite, ebe kwuru si ikpe Nnamdi Kanu amalitela.
You all have seen that these people are busy. They don't even want our leader to be tried in fair. They don't even want our leader right to be respected. I don't know if you're getting what I'm saying here. I know many of us Biafrans will believe that our leader will be free today. But the reason why I want to say certain things to you, Biafrans, today is one thing. If you're following me, I want you to pay attention. Because yesterday we were in Rome. And I saw a lot of strange things. Some things were strange because that wasn't the way we used to protest. This is not the way this very family was built. Now, today, the reason why our leader is appearing in court is not really for bail. Bail can be granted, don't get it wrong, but we don't have to be exaggerating for many reasons. One, today, our legal team will be challenging the competence of court in trying MAZI KANU. So let's assume that we win the case. That means MAZI will be acquitted and be returned back to Kenya where they abducted him. That is what it means. But we understand something. This is one thing I want you all Biafrans to understand. And we all know this as well, but maybe recently we have forgotten it. What we should know is that Nigeria government can never obey court order. And we know in the past, because history is the best teacher we should know. History made us to understand they don't respect court order. So, how are we as a people expect people who don't respect court order to grant us freedom? Do you see why we kept asking this question? And more importantly, to the family members. Because yesterday in Rome, this wasn't how we used to protest. And the reason is because there is division between us. And that very division is what they are using to keep holding our leader. Let's assume, like I was explaining, if our legal team wins today in their charge or challenging competence of law is a kind of saying that because of the fact that you abducted MAZI KANU from Kenya, which makes you a violator of international laws, which you are a signatory. That means you don't have the legal competence. You cannot try him because you are an abductor. You are a kind of kidnapper. You are challenging someone for terrorism and you now abduct him. So that is the reason why we are going to court today. Not really for the trial of the previous charges leveled against him. Okay, so now they don't want media to cover this. They don't want the international world to understand. They choose few media. In Abuja today, there was no media. There were very few media houses. And stay tuned because we'll be bringing to you every update from there. But I can assure you all Biafrans that there is something we should stop expecting, which is, one, is hoping that justice would be done to our leader if we don't do something. I don't believe that. If we don't do something collectively with our mighty force, there is no way miracle can happen because even God works when we want to work. Before we used to come out in troops to protest. So what has happened to this family? I don't want to cause it. Here is not today for talking about anybody or giving platforms to anybody, because we are talking about the court case of the indigenous people of Biafra, the whole people of Biafra. Because there is something some of you fail to understand. That was why I asked a question yesterday, while after we protested. I said, is this not the right time that the people of Biafra should understand that we should stop taking Biafra struggle for business venture or business purposes or financial benefits, if not for anything, for 5 million Biafrans that were massacred in cold blood, if not for anything, for 3 million children that died out of malnutrition, if not for anything. That is why I kept asking anyone hoping one day Nigeria government will now wake up and give us this. They can't give us. We have to fight for it. And how are we going to fight for it? Is with unity and force, not with you, because the reason why we are no much people who pulled out yesterday. because we were busy calculating the financial statement of this family. And that is what divided us. That is what distracted us. That is what make us to fail to understand that these people are not ready to release our leader. They want to kill him if we don't do something. If we don't do something, if we continue coming here to talk about DOS did this, Simon Ekpa did that, Nana did this, Chinasangoro, all of these things is doom we are planning. Because look at the trial. Look at the trial today. Look at Abuja High Court. This is all planned deal. That was why before today, don't be surprised what will happen today. If you see good, take it. If you see anything we see today, we have to take it. Because you will see the certain, or should I say sudden disgrace of Abba Kyari. We know Abba Kyari is caused by our leader, yes. But all of these things, you know something about this God we are serving, which the Biafran people are serving to, which our ancestors served to, despite the news they will say to us. Okay? Is that when the words of God want to come to fruition, it has to use somebody. Depends on if you understand whom you are and where we are coming from. So when our leader cursed Abba Kyari, he cursed him because whenever you see our leader preach on Radio Biafra platform, he preaches the gospel that comes from heaven. He says what is put into his mouth because he's a prophet. It's just like the words of prophecy. A prophet can come and prophesy. He doesn't even know how those prophecies will be fulfilled. All he knows is that I say what comes to me spiritually. I say it out, and that is it. And he said to Nigerian government, remember the words of our leader. He said that his first arrest shook Nigeria government, Nigeria structure, shook the whole international community to understand the atrocities going on in Nigeria. He said his second arrest will break it into pieces and bring about Biafra. But questions are to be asked to all of us, especially we living in diaspora. Because I'm not happy with everything I saw yesterday. But I was happy because Umu Chineke came out also in numbers to show that we are still one formidable family, indestructible and indivisible. Nobody can divide us. They will try. Like our leader says, it will take them 50 years only to shake the foundations of IPOB. Ask yourself, Biafrans, a question today. All of those coming to social media to distract us all these while, where and how have they contributed? Look at our leader is being tried in secret. And this is consequent of you. And we are asking the Nigeria government also to understand something. This is 2022. This is not 1967. You can't kill a child and not let him cry. You can't call our leader a terrorist. You abduct him in Kenya and you try him in secret. You don't want us to see how the trial goes. You said he committed offenses. He said all of these things, all of those nonsense charges you leveled against him. And now, for us, his people, his followers, those we understand that he has done nothing. You try him in secret. You select the media houses that will cover your events. That means whatever they tell us, we have to believe. And it's up to you, Biafrans. It's up to you, Biafrans, to understand something. It's up to you, I repeat. It's up to you. Let's go back to the court. So we see the update from court. Let's see the update. Hold on. Try to connect back to you. We have to work. As you hold on, as you wait, many of you are waiting for miracle. Many of you are hoping that today something marvelous will happen. God work when we wake up and work. If we don't work, He will not work. This is simple. If we do not work, there is no way God will just come. Manna doesn't fall from above anymore. If it fell before, I don't think it falls any longer. We have to work. We have to stop this, our nonsense attitudes. Our leader asked us for two things, resoluteness and discipline. And where is your discipline? Where is your discipline? I'm asking. Let's go back. Let's see the court premises, because we cannot even see the happenings in the court. The other day I was following Rittenhouse murder trial in America, and everything was free in court. You can even practice, because it's your right to go to court. But in Nigeria's system, it's otherwise. That's not the case. That's how we are doomed. Let me take you back to the court, because we can only see, like I said, only the background. We can't have access to the court, and there is nothing we can do, because we are under tyrannical error, which if all Nigerians do not stand up, I pity our next generation. I absolutely pity our next generation. I must tell you.
A ga na-akọrọ ụnụ akụkọ etu esi ruo ebe a ugbu a. Dịka anyị na-akọrọ ụnụ akụkọ a, Maazị Nnamdi Kanu na ndị ọkaiwu ya nọ ugbu a n'ime ụlọ ikpe dị n'Abuja na-azara ọnụ ha.
Can you imagine?
Ebubo gọọmenti Nigeria.
Can you imagine that?
Gọọmenti Nigeria na-ebo ebubo.
You can imagine the level of nonsense going on in Nigeria.
Na-ebo iyi ndụ egwu. Na-ebo ebubo isonye n'otu iwu machiri amachi. Maka na gọọmenti Naịjirịa wepụtara akwụkwọ ma kwuo na IPOB aghọọla otu amachiri amachi. Ha wee na-ekwu na onye ọbụla nọ n'otu ahụ ugbu a na-ada iwu. Nke a bụ ihe gọọmenti na-ekwu. Ya bụ so n'otu ebubo a na-ebo Maazị Nnamdi Kanu. Na-ebokwa ebubo ọtụtụ ebubo ndị ọzọ dị. N'oge mbụ enwere mgbe a bụrụ ebubo na ọ kparịrị onye isi ala Muhammadu Buhari. Mana ọ dị ka emechara wepụ ebubo nke ahụ.
Can you imagine? That is even where we want. Excuse me. That is what we want. Listen, there is something these people don't understand. These people think we are food. These people think we are animals. And that is why they bring a distractor to our midst, to continue distracting us, to enable us not do what we are supposed to do. Okay, how was the president, where he said that the president is dead? And that should be the first and the most important trial. Back, how can I say trial? Only seen a president gango, a disgrace. That is where we want. But we must continue. We must continue. We must continue. N'ime ụlọ ikpe ukwu dị n'Abuja. Dịka anyị na-ekwu ka ha nọ n'ime ụlọ ikpe ahụ, ha nọkwa na-abọrịta ụbụbọ na-akọrịta akụkọ na-achịrịta ọchị, maka na ọkaikpe, ọ bụrụ na ịma ọkaikpe Binta Nyako, anọbuola m n'ụlọ ikpe ya mbụ, ị ga-ama na ọ bụ onye na-akpata ụka ọchị. Ọ nọ na-ekele ha maka Valentine, na-asị ha na emekwere Valentine ọfụma, ha na-akpa nkata na-achị ọchị. Onye ọbụla iji mee ka obi dajiri onye ọbụla tupu amalite kpọmkwem ihe a na-aga na ya. Nke a bụ aside, ya bụ soro mchi ya ha kparịtara. Mana ị ga-amakwa ama na ọ bụghị ndị ọkaiwu m Nnamdi Kanu niile ka e kwere ka ha banye n'ụlọ ikpe. Cheta na akọwara m ya nke ọma na etu ọnọdụ nchekwa si dị ebe a, na ọ dị na-awaja. E nwere ndị nke a ga-ekwe gafee ebe a m nọ ugbu a, mana ha agaghị agafe geeti ụlọ ikpe ahụ. Ha ruo na geeti ụlọ ikpe ahụ, aha ọzọ ga-apụtakwa ebe ahụ, listi ọzọ dị ebe ahụ. Ọ bụrụ na aha ga-adịghị n'ime ya, ị gaghị abanye. E nwere ndị aha ga-adị ga-abanye n'ime. Now let me say something for some of you who are not Igbo, who don't understand what this person just said. He said that there are different procedures. There are different procedures to the courtyard. Like, there are some people whom, when they come, they can only stand where he's standing now. The reporter is saying in Igbo language. So, and there are a certain group of people, again, journalists, he means, if they come, they will cross the next boundary and they will not move again. And there are lawyers as well, legal practitioners in a country where there are professors, where there are sons, where there are educated people who claim they studied 6 years course in university, people who want us to respect them as a people, people who want us to live in the same country with them. Now, this is the greatest tyrannical you can imagine in life. In the 21st century, it still happens. This is why we don't want to be in one country with you. Because most of you, okay, let me say this to Nigerians who are following me. Let me say this to you. If you're a Nigerian and you don't like the fact that we are talking about Biafra, because that is your cause, whether you like us to talk about Biafra or you don't like us, Biafra, we must talk about it. And Biafra must come. But let me ask you a question, or let me say this to you as a Nigerian. If somebody, or let me say, your country has been terrorized, as they use, let me use that particular word to give you an example. And they said the man terrorizing your country, or the man responsible for all the terrorism attacks in your country is so man. And now he's tried in court, okay? He's tried in court. And instead of him or the government to show you evidence of this man terrorizing you, they failed to do that. Instead, they impose restrictions upon where the journalists would stop, upon where lawyers would stop, and your law, your court makes you to understand this thing. Maybe you don't remember that your court, your constitution says that an accused person has right to as much legal practitioners as possible. As long as he can acquire them, as long as he can afford them, he has right to it because it's his fundamental human right. And it's also under UN Charter, under African Union Charter, under ECOWAS Charter, which Nigerian government is a signatory of all of those international treaties. Okay? Now, somebody whom your government says is a terrorist, he's now trying him, but he don't want even you to see how he terrorized you. And all of you youths, all of you younger ones, all of you celebrities, all of you prominent people, you will fold your hands and you think he will not get to you. You all cannot reason like a people. Do you see the reason why you want respect from the whites and they can never respect us? Because they understand that our reasoning is backward. That is why in the 21st century, when people are going to Mars, going to the moon, going to the sun, going to make researches to exploit the world, we are busy having 60 days fasting and prayer. Do you now see why the world will never respect us if we don't stand up and destroy that very contraption with truth and honesty? Let me take you back to the reporter so that you can hear what he's saying. If you're not Igbo, I will still translate to you.
ọ bụrụ na aha ga adịghị n'ime ya nke ahụ agaala ị ga-anọ n'okirikiri ụlọ ikpe mana ị gaghị abanye ya bụ ndị ọkaiwu Nnamdi Kanu nyere mkpesa
ọ bụrụ na aha gị adịrọ n'akwụkwọ ọ bụrụ na aha gị adịrọ n'akwụkwọ ede ọ bụrụgodị na ị bụ onye ọkaikpe ịnaba ọ bụrụgodị na ị bụ citizen ịnaba ha chọọ dị ma mụrụ m na-aghọta ihe onye a bụ ebe I don't know if some of you understand that.
Dịka anyị na-ekwu ka ha nọ n'ime ụlọ ikpe ahụ anọkwa na-abọrịta ụbụbọ na-akọrịta akụkọ na-achịrịta ọchị maka na ọkaikpe ọ bụrụ na ịma ọkaikpe Binta Nyako anọbuola m n'ụlọ ikpe ya mbụ ị ga-ama na ọ bụ onye na-akpata ụka ọchị ọ nọ na-ekele ha maka Valentine na-asị ha na emekwere Valentine ọfụma ha na-akpa nkata na-achị ọchị onye ọbụla iji mee ka obi dajiri onye ọbụla tupu amalite kpọmkwem ihe a na-aga na ya nke a bụ aside ya bụ soro m chi ya ha kparịtara mana ị ga-amakwa ama na ọ bụghị ndị ọkaiwu m Nnamdi Kanu niile ka e kwere ka ha banye n'ụlọ ikpe cheta na akọwara m ya nke ọma na etu ọnọdụ nchekwa si dị ebe a na ọ dị na-awaja e nwere ndị nke a ga-ekwe gafee ebe a m nọ ugbu a mana ha agaghị abanye ha agaghị agafe geeti ụlọ ikpe ahụ ha ruo na geeti ụlọ ikpe ahụ aha ọzọ ga-apụtakwa ebe ahụ listi ọzọ dị ebe ahụ ọ bụrụ na aha ga-adịghị n'ime ya ị gaghị abanye e nwere ndị aha ga-adị ga-abanye n'ime court premises dịka bekee si ekwu ya ya bụ okirikiri ụlọ ikpe ahụ mana ha agaghị abanyenwu kpọmkwem n'ime ụlọ ikpe ebe a na-ekpe Nnamdi Kanu ikpe ha agaghị abanyenwu maka na n'ụzọ ebe ahụ ị ga-enwekwa akwụkwọ aha gị kwesịkwara ịdị n'ime ya ọ bụrụ na aha gị adịghị n'ime ya nke ahụ agaala ị ga-anọ n'okirikiri ụlọ ikpe mana ị gaghị abanye ya bụ ndị ọkaiwu Nnamdi Kanu nyere mkpesa na ụfọdụ ndị ọkaiwu ya gbalitere agbalite ekweghị ha ka ha bata n'ime ụlọ ikpe ahụ kpọmkwem ebe a na-ekpe ikpe ekweghị ha akpọchidoro achụpụrụ ha n'iro dịka m onwe m achụtere eri m akarị ilebe nna anya gị hụ ebe ndị uwe ojii nọ na mgbada enweghị m ike ịga ebe ahụ ugbu a ka aka na-ahụ ghara ịghọ nwanne gị ofu aka nke a bụ ebe ikike nke enjere m dị mana e nwere onye bbcigbo.com enyere ikike nọ n'ime ụlọ ikpe ugbu a ya nwa na-ewetara m ihe ndị a niile na-akọrọ gị dịka o si gbatakwuru ikpe ahụ ka na-aga n'ihu onye ọbụla nọ n'ime ụlọ ikpe ugbu a na-eche etu ihe si aga ile anya gị hụ na ndị na-ere ihe ọtọ bilibili jiri oyi a na-akpọ ice cream na ndị otu ya na-agbara nnọọ aka ahịa maka na ndị nkwado Nnamdi Kanu na-agba ha aka ahịa.
Do you see why we want Biafra?
Otu a ka ọ dị.
Do you see why we want Biafra? Do you now understand why we said we don't want all this anymore? Because we don't want to continue living in a country where you will accuse somebody and you will not let him to defend himself. You will not let him to have access to lawyers. You will not let even the public to see what he has done. We want a federation whereby somebody who is the worst criminal can have access to law, can have access to lawyer, can have access to media houses to make the people see how he's being tried. We don't want to be in the country of this is backward country. You all educated people in Nigeria who travels abroad. Most of you go to America. Most of you celebrate a red passport. Is this how a criminal is tried in America, where you're living, or in Canada, or in China, or in other part of the country where you're living? Do you now understand why we want to be free? I'm very provoked with this Nigeria governing system. Very, very annoyed with them. What is the crime of Nnamdi Kanu, if I may ask? What is his crime? MAZI KANU is speaking for the voices and the minds of 50 Igbo people alone is 60 million, about 60 million people. And then you add other Biafran nationalities. He's speaking the minds of over 80 million people. And you say that man is a terrorist. That means you're calling 80 million Biafrans terrorists. And at the same time, trying us in secret. It's crazy.